July 23rd, 2022. Hi, Marcus Giovanni here. Andre Rougeot, Denver Municipal Candidate Affidavit. Now, when you think about everything that Andy, he goes by Andy, just like I'm Mark, go by Marcus. So, when you look at Andre or Andy, and everything that he's done in regards to his municipal candidate, all the people that wrote about him, which wasn't very many. It was Colorado Politics, a biased fake organization. Everybody knows it. Dan Kaplis came out, an attorney, and said that, and they started putting it on iHeartRadio for the iPods, that Andy was going to be the first GOP candidate. Not even the Democrats. Okay, even though they've taken over the government, they don't come out and say, I'm a Democrat. Because you're not supposed to. We're non-political. But Democrats have been able to take over since 1963, which would make it 60 years of Democratic rule. And we've taken our city beautiful to the federal heights of the decay city. And when Hancock meets up with Lori Lightfoot, the worst mayor in the entire world, she, hands down, I've done the algorithms, and if the citizens knew about how they could see the future or somewhat of the future, because artificial intelligence can't quite figure out what they're going to do at that moment. It's just the way it is. Soon it will be able to, but for right now, it can't do that. In other words, it can predict what the actions and people are talking about up to the moment. But it's right then when people change their minds, whatever triggers them to do something else. So this is what it looks like for Andy, and it's not good. But then again, just the fact that he's trying to race, and the fact that he's ignorant, and he's an Army intelligence officer, supposedly, and yet, well, I know he's a vet. My son just enlisted in the Army Special Forces, so I'm a military family now. My dad was in the military. I wasn't in the military. I don't have any gray to be in the military. Anyways, that's the way it is. And you're going to see some big changes, folks. We did what we had to do to protect the kingdom of Denver. And Denver is a very, very, very special place. It's probably the most mentioned city in all cities in the movies back in the 60s on all types of shows. And I remember, Denver, wow, this place must be happening. And I ended up moving back from 2006 when we almost got killed in a hurricane in 2005. So we bailed like the end of 2005 and got to Denver in 2005. But it's really, those kind of things are kind of hard for me to remember. Hurricane shutters flew off our condo, and we lived in a vaulted ceilings in Miami, or not in Miami, but in on Military Highway, and it was crazy. It was in right north of Boca Raton, and it's crazy. It really is, folks. So right now I am just trying to wake up, have my coffee, do my indexing, and pray that Denver citizens, the Denver Democrats, realize that they can't continue the lie anymore in the digital world. They can in their mortal world. They can lie all they want. I mean, they only have to answer to their God if they believe them. And we know Zuckerberg from Facebook, who got the whole world the guy's a genius, and he didn't pray to God or Jesus or Allah to help him make money, help him become somebody. He did it himself. How? Hard work, perseverance, teamwork. Nobody handed it to him. Nobody said, "Oh, since you're really, 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 really white, then we gotta go do this for him." They don't. I know black people, especially women, business owners that own nail salons, and they're hardworking ladies, man. All women. You walk up and down Colfax, and you go knocking on doors and talking to the business owners, and they're very upset with Hancock and the way the murder rate is, and all the bombs and all the people that either moved here or Denver created them. And that's something no media has ever asked anybody because they're all in on it. And see, when you think about the media in Denver, it's a very, very small world. It's the same players coming up all the time. And so what people are doing now is they're realizing it and they're combating it, but not online. They're not letting everybody know. Like people with me, people go to one of my platforms and say, "Oh, he doesn't have any followers." Keep talking, man. I don't want followers. My people don't follow me. I don't know if anybody ever noticed that. When I ran in 2015, we didn't have a Denver Mayoral debate. First time in history. And you had some media coming out saying, "Oh, in 20 years." Dude, don't talk if you don't know. And you got some guys that are like hashtag Rubino JC. That's Joe Rubino from the Denver Post. He texted me through Twitter, which is the worst thing you can do. Anyways, these guys think they know everything because they know everything. That's that funny. But hashtag his name, Rubino JC, and you'll see. His whole storyline now is been taken over by artificial intelligence. Everywhere he goes, all the people he talks to, all the conspiring he's done over the years to not tell the truth. And he covers these things, but, he doesn't know about the Spear Amendment. No, he wasn't born in Denver. I wasn't born in Denver, but I found out because I listened to people. These people listen to nobody but themselves and all their node connections, to all the nonprofits, Denver Inc., Denver Decides, all the same old bullshit artists. And when you think about like Ian Tafoya, hashtag believe Ian, that's his handle. See, what happens with these guys is they think that they are so powerful that nobody can beat them. And they're realizing slowly, because we do what's called a digital chokehold, and it just leaves you where you're standing, and we'll choke you out, right there, digitally, not mortal world. We ain't into that. I love everybody. I've always been this way. Even my enemies, I love my enemies because my enemies are ignorant. And they don't understand that the digital world is changing, and they need to jump on board with winners, not losers that sit there and bloviate and humble brag. That's how we lost the FICA 2026 World Cup. And you think we got beat out by Kansas City? This is just the start, folks. And you're going to get all these people to tell you how wonderful Denver is, and it's slowly falling by the wayside. And one day we'll wake up and Denver will not be anywhere. It'll be replaced by Kansas City, because that's what's happening. We're trying to keep everything local, but when the locals can't do local stuff and they bring in all these other people from other cities, guess what? We become that city that they come from. Because Denver needs to hire within. Denver needs to, with us, we're going to take all these apps that are coming in on like public, and you got these girls on there going, I want girls of color to realize what we're doing so that we can mobilize and we can get into things that we're doing. And women of color, folks, women of color. So if I was a non-woman of color, I'd be pretty pissed off as a woman, alienating me because maybe I'm lighter skinned, Asian, Russian, what are the other ones? I don't know. I don't look at things like that. You can either do it or you don't. Whatever you look like is just happenstance. You can't control that. But see, Denver uses all these federal issues and ideologies and these key words. You watch them, they all say the same thing once they write it. And what they don't realize is that now those are negative key words by those that can't produce. By those who have promised over the years to eradicate homeless, like Hickenlooper and Mayor Hancock, the decay mayors. You have to go through decay after growth in order to expand. And see, when Pena and Webb, they're outdated. They can sit there and tell us what they did in the past doesn't mean anything in the fucking future. And when they met up with Hickenlooper and they met up with Hancock and they were glorifying, humble bragging, they destroyed their legacy, and it hasn't even hit yet. Those conversations haven't even caught up, and that's what these people don't understand. And you think that They claim to be the smartest people in the fucking world. And yet they're not. Nothing's happening, and it's gonna be when January comes. They're really gonna be. And then I don't enjoy this. I could be singing. I could be doing Circus of a Lifetime, because that's what I enjoy doing. I'm an old man now. I mean, fuck. 62, 30 somethings. When they hit my age, I'll be dead. So you have to understand that in the digital world, people don't have all the information they need to make the conversations that they believe to be real on the internet. And what happens is you see stuff like this. One thing, and the man that's doing it. We own 2023 Denver Municipal Elections. That's a platform that will be a very, very powerful platform, and it will belong to the city of Denver. We created platforms as in real estate in the digital world. So that's how that works. When you think about the platforms we have, we're gonna lease them, but it's not the city and county of government. It's the city and county of Denver LLC. It will be the most powerful platform in the world. And when we all get on board with the non-political nature of things that we are city chartered to do under the Spear Amendment, then all the doors will start opening up for Denver like you've never seen before. Everybody's going to want to be Denver. And we're going to clean up the streets because we can't have it. We can't have people telling us, oh, we got to put showers in the park so that people can take... Folks, when you start doing that, okay, when people start getting naked, then things start going problems, man. And then they bring in the drugs, and they're going to fix their teeth. So why? We don't know what they have as far as blood work gone. They're spitting there because they pull the teeth here. They don't fix them. They just pull teeth. And our Denver Health and Human Services is so corrupt, folks, that we're going to get to the bottom of that. Everything. It's all going to change. We cannot go forward with this continued bullshit of a partisan government, which now is been indexed as a kleptocracy. You'd think, is there really a kleptocracy in the United States? Yes. Small forms, small pockets, small groups of individuals that have gotten together and taken over a city. Well, now, if the city knows how to do their work, they can come up with what we do, with the EdoClad project, EDOCLAD, EdoClad. Google search it. Google search Observer Indexer. This stuff's real, folks. Go to disinformationczar.us. We had it right. The current administration for the United States of America had it right about having a disinformation czar. But what happened is, in the back conversation, is they realized that they're the biggest bullshitters of all, and that it won't work. Their IT people, somebody fucking told them way up there, saying, "Look, guys, I don't want to bust your bubbles, but you guys are the most corrupt people in the world. What you did to Trump, what Hillary Clinton did, all that stuff's been indexed." And so when they start talking their shit, and then you Google it and you don't see them, but only maybe on the top couple search results, 1, 2, and 3 maybe, and then the rest is the truth, because you have to have the bullshit in front of you before you can put it in behind you. You have to identify the bullshit. And we did that in 2011. When they say the world, we live in a small world, Denver's even fucking smaller. And their digital footprint is almost non-existing. Everything they do is the opposite of what needs to be done to make Denver a thriving, economical powerhouse that gives us services that we don't have to wait a day after to get our lawns picked up, to have our garbage sitting out on the street for a night so that the coyotes and the raccoons come in, tip it over, and then you got to go outside and pick it up. So I take my trash can back in and put it back outside. There's no use to doing that, and many people don't, and they wake up, and those raccoons, when they work in a team, and I've seen it, I've seen a pack of raccoons tip over a garbage can like it was nothing, full. And then they just start figuring out where the food is. They don't care. They don't need a plate. They don't need a knife and fork. Matter of fact, they don't even need a napkin. They just eat.